Hello and welcome to round 3 of the 2014 PowerMax Mini Challenge from Snetterton. This weekend, the Minis perform in front of huge crowds as they guest alongside British Formula 3 and GTs. In the PowerMax Mini Challenge, the battles are well and truly hotting up. In the Cooper class, it's between Shane Stoney, Josh Gollin and Ricky Page. In the JCWs, Chris Knox may well be out in the lead, but Luke Caudle's looking particularly confident after a very good qualifier.
Yeah, really pleased with that qualifying session. Peak Performance had put a great car together, so we went out there, got a good lap time in, come in, and they said it was pole position, so we sat in the pit lane to save the tyres for the race.
That's what I was going to ask you, because you only did 5 laps, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a couple of bedding in laps, get the tyres up to temperature, and then 2 flying laps. Saw the good lap time, come and park the car, and the guys said, yeah, it's all good news.
We've had a nightmare this weekend. We done one session yesterday, and then we've struggled with a misfire, so we've literally done no testing whatsoever. So, be happy enough to be on the front row. It was very close. The Rivervale car was good, but we're lacking a little bit more in straight line speed. It's not as much as it was at Brands. We're only 2-3 miles an hour down now, but it makes a little bit of a difference on the straight. But I got one more run when the guys said I was P2, so I gave it one more shot and was up on every sector, and then I just made a tiny mistake on the last sector, which cost me a couple of tenths. So.
We really struggled yesterday with setup, so we didn't get a setup on the car until this morning, so it was a bit of trial and error in quali. I haven't been here for 18 months either, and that's my only time here, so we're learning, but we'll be there, I'm confident.
I'm a little bit disappointed to be down there in 5th. Had a few issues. I think my brakes went hard a few times, and just not being able to stop for the corners didn't help. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more straight line speed for the next one as well, and push forward, because I've got to close the gap sharpish to Shane. Don't want to let him get away like last year.
Let's have a look then at how they line up, with Luke Caudle and Chris Knox sharing the front row from Neil Newstead and Mark Stewart. Then it's Henry Dupree, Hamish Brandon, Lawrence Davey and Keith Issat. Chris Russell completes the JW runners, and then it's Shane Stoney who takes Cooper class pole once again alongside William Phillips. Plenty of drivers though snapping at their heels behind Josh Gollin, lots to do from 5th. Likewise for Ricky Page in 4th. They will be looking to make progress off the start. It's a narrow grid here at Snetterton, it's going to be pretty frantic.
So Ricky and Josh are in 4th and 5th position on the grid for the Cooper class. They're tasked to get ahead of dominant reigning champion Shane Stoney. Are you ready? Let's go racing.
So Luke Caudle and Chris Knox showing the front row as the red lights go on. Away we go. It's a good start from Caudle, slightly slow away from Hamish Brandon. What about the JCW class? It's very busy in the midfield, and Grace Williams makes contact with Simon Walton. Williams gets turned around. Walton gets hit again and spins to a halt. I think Pete Diamond as well was caught up in that. No such concerns at the front though. Caudle and Knox side by side into Montreal. They have then got Neil Newstead chasing him behind as Mark Stewart gets pushed out wide on the exit of the hairpin. The lead's already sprinting on towards the left-hander at Palmer. And the safety car coming out to recover those cars involved in that startling incident. Williams' car is pushed clear. So we ready ourselves for the restart, and Chris Knox poised behind Luke Caudle, trying to take advantage of the slipstream as the pair of them accelerate along the centre straight. But Caudle has judged this restart to absolute perfection. I'm not sure that Knox is going to be quite close enough. He's about 1.5 car lengths back. Both of them, Gaff Neil Newstead, who's got the rest of the pack snapping at his heels. It's Lawrence Davey, the bright blue car, who is immediately there. Then Keith Issat next along. Ready, Knox once more, looks to the outside of Montreal. He's got the advantage of that deficit to the rest of the field, because Neil Newstead being kept very busy there by Lawrence Davey. In car then with Davey as he shows himself inside Neil Newstead. Newstead though covers the inside of Palmer. The pair of them then sprint on towards Agostini, as in car with William Phillips, who gets passed by Josh Gollin. The pair of them both in pursuit of Shane Stoney. You can see Gollin waving his fist there saying, I'm going to just try and catch Stoney. Thumbs up from Phillips there, looking to work in the slipstream as Hamish Brandon comes back off the grass and on to the Bentley straight. Out front though, Caudle and Knox still continuing to break through the rest of the field. There is Hamish Brandon. You can see he's knocked a little bit of trim loose as a result of that off-track excursion, and that puts him immediately into the clutches of Alan Taylor, possibly as well the white car of Patrick Mortimer. So there is Taylor through the bomb hole in pursuit of Hamish Brandon. Henry Dupree as well as part of that battle. Josh Gollin flicks the car sideways. William Phillips follows him out of Nelson on towards the bomb hole. The pair of them still working in tandem, trying to get onto terms with Shane Stoney. Stoney in a brand new car this weekend, a real master of gapping the rest of the field. So it's the red car then of Gollin, the white and black car of Phillips. They've also got Ricky Page, who's trying to join in to this train through Coram Curve. The two Cooper class second and third place runners running in tandem as again Caudle covers the inside line at Riches from Chris Knox. Knox looking every which way, but this is really nice driving from Luke Caudle. Got the car perfectly positioned. And Chris Knox though is a very clean driver and he's determined to avoid making contact. He wants to overtake Caudle the right way. It's like 2011 all over again, seeing these two dicing at the front of the field, and again Caudle just beautifully positions his car on the way into Palmer. He's determined that if Chris Knox is going to go through, he's going to make it as tricky as possible for Knox to do that. Shane Stoney, William Phillips and Josh Gollin on their way. Switch for second then. Phillips has moved clear of Gollin. It's now William Phillips who's taking his turn to try and tow the rest of the pack back onto terms. Shane Stoney's not really happening. And then we've got Matt Hammond in pursuit of Ricky Page. In car with Hammond, a little bit tight as he squeezes through. Chris Knox remains tucked right underneath the rear spoiler of Luke Caudle's car, and this is why the Mini Challenge is so popular with fans and drivers alike. The cars, to all intents and purposes, equal. It really comes down to those tiny margins as a driver, as Patrick Mortimer looks to the inside of Alan Taylor. Mark Stewart also part of that group, recovering from his early race adventures. Mortimer there with the inside line to the bomb hole should gain the position on Taylor. A pair of them sprint on their way. Ricky Page and Matt Hammond continue their tussle, and Hammond elevating himself up past Page. Got the three leaders in the Cooper class, not too far up the road either. Hearing from Page earlier on, really the task for him and Josh Gollin is to finish ahead of Shane Stoney, but they're going to run out of time because the victory goes to Luke Caudle. Chris Knox, very narrow runner-up, just 0.4 of a second adrift. Third place, a fine drive for Neil Newstead. Shane Stoney claims the Cooper class victory from, in second place, William Phillips, and Josh Gollin just the third car home in the Cooper class. So an entertaining race then to kick off the weekend for the Mini Challenge. Luke Caudle victorious from Chris Knox, and Neil Newstead, Lawrence Davey in fourth from Kevin O'Connor, Keith Issat, Henry Dupree and Hamish Brandon. Shane Stoney, the first the Cooper class cars home from William Phillips and Josh Gollin. Matt Hammond drove well for fourth, although Ricky Page would be disappointed to have slipped down to sixth in class. So time to celebrate on the rostrum for the first time this weekend. Shane Stoney needs a bigger mantelpiece for all of his Cooper class trophies, and Luke Caudle back on top in the JCWs.
Wasn't particularly fast off the line, but I got a great tow from the three in front, so I was able to catch up by the first corner. It's a long start-finish straight, and there was a small gap, so of course I was going to go into it, and got into second at the first corner. Didn't quite have the legs to catch up with Shane, so didn't fight too hard when Will Phillips came past, and tried to tag on and just building a gap back to fourth really.
It's loads of side-by-side action, real battle going on between you two.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the hardest races I've ever done in my motor racing career. Fair play to Chris, he gave us the space where we needed, but he definitely kept the pressure on. I think he was waiting for the mistake, but it never came, so we got it to the line and won the race.
Yeah, first of all, thanks to SO Group Management for putting the deal together this year with Rivervale and Shotley. It was a tough race. It was probably the worst start I've ever done in my career. He got the jump on me, side by side for the first couple of laps, and the safety car sort of ruined the momentum because we were side by side for the first 4 corners. Fair play, it's all to do tomorrow. I'm in the row in front of them, which is good, so game on.
There's no let-up for the battle for the lead in the JCW class. Luke and Chris find themselves side by side once again in race 2. However, this time it's in positions 6 and 7 with that reverse grid. We'll see you again after the break.